Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Forgotten Vehicles, the show that has forgotten in it partly because I keep forgetting to make new episodes. In this episode, we discuss the open wheel cars. Like myself, Rockstar watched Drive to Survive on Netflix and thought this was the next big step they should be taking with GTA Online.
It's more like a hobby for me.
The open wheel cars are by far the most unique cars in GTA Online. There are 3 different sets of wheels with the soft, medium and hard tires, and the parts that you can put on and swap out on your car actually do matter. The bigger your front and rear wing, the more downforce you will get. But if you have more downforce on your car, you will have a lower top speed. So it all comes down to finding the right balance. These parts on your car can also be broken off, and they will affect how your car drives in a pretty big way. Lost your front wing? Well, enjoy understeer. Lost your rear wing? I hope you like oversteer. Speaking of downforce, one of the most fun things you can do with the open wheel cars in free roam is easily the wall riding that you can do with it. No tricks in this footage, anyone can do this. You can tell that a lot of thought and development time has gone into making these cars feel like there's something different in the game during a time where a lot of the cars are starting to feel very familiar to each other. Sadly, what we ended up with is yet another abandoned project that could have been a lot more. Currently we have a total of 4 open wheel cars in the game. The DR1, the R88, the PR4 and the BR8. And you guessed it, the BR8 coming in at a cool $3.4 million is the fastest one by a long shot. So what ends up happening is that there's really only one open wheel car that you can use, on top of the fact that there's only one place to use them, the open wheel races. This is where the biggest problem with these cars are. You're driving on tracks that don't really come close enough to make good use out of these cars. Often the tracks are narrow and don't really allow for clean overtaking. Then you take into account this GTA Online public races and you got yourself a recipe for a broken open wheel car with no more downforce parts. The open wheel cars themselves also are pretty much part of the problem. Generally speaking, there isn't really any sort of challenge with these open wheel cars because they're just glued to the road. So what ends up happening is that you just hold down the throttle the entire race, and if you are in first place, you'll probably stay there. The BR8 is the one-all and be-all open wheels car, so using anything else will just put you in a losing position. There really isn't enough variety in these cars or in the class to choose, or something to make them feel different from each other. And well, only having 4 open wheel cars doesn't really help this fact either, especially when they're at least $3 million each in a game mode that will pay you $30,000 if you manage to win a race. Now obviously I don't want to purely make this about money, but it does put a lot of people off actually getting these and starting to play the game mode. So to summarize this, you spend nearly $4 million and then you can only use the car in one game mode that really isn't all that interesting to play, and then you can also just decide to drive it a bit in free roam. That does sound a little bit familiar, doesn't it? My suggestion to fix this will be to look into swapping some of the lesser racetracks for some of them that are better suited for open wheel cars. And then also adding a few new open wheel cars too that might be able to take the fight to the BR8. Or if they end up just adding better cars than the BR8, then just at least have them be close enough to each other so we have a choice and don't always have to drive the exact same car. But those are just some of my thoughts. Of course, I'd love to know what you think in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more. And if you really like what's seen on the channel, please do consider becoming a member like Chloe, Robert, Madman Dakota and Shapeshift Gaming. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all later.